To you. We live. Okay. Wait a minute now. Y'all, my tripod is not feeling me right. Feeling it like. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So, I kind of wanted to chat up something. Y'all, so. Let me throw that away. So, welcome, new subscribers. Okay. Y'all see my nail? So I was teaching somebody a little bit about nails the other day, and it turned out so cute. Can't really see it, but she did really good. So, let's discuss something. So I just kind of wanted to chat it up a little bit. If you are someone who's interested in lasting nails not lifting, or wanting to know about those type of things when it comes to nails, you came to the right place. You came to the right live. I just want to talk and discuss a few things. Let me get the hand. Yeah, somebody else did these like not long ago, but she did a good job. But yes. So let's talk about it. Now, when it comes to, well, let's talk about a few things and reasons why nails don't even stay in the first place. Number one, the prep game. That's usually like the top reason. The prep game is not where it should be. I know a lot of people, I still like don't see people do this, but obviously, you know, technology has changed, and you know, things have just changed. So a lot of people tend to think like, oh, I don't have to do this. I don't like, for one, pushing the skin back on the nail plate. I know there's different bits and stuff out there that you use, but still, me personally, because they say that the bit gets all that skin off, but a lot of times people don't even need that skin removed. They just need their that skin pushed back. The idea is you're getting that skin off the top of the nail plate. That's it. Another thing when it comes to the prep work, a lot of people, they especially when they first start out, they have pop-offs. A lot of them do not know they're using probably this type of brush to remove the debris, and the debris is just still there. So you move it off, but technically you still have that fine debris probably from that brush, or it just never fully moved it in the first place. And if it's a brush that you've used for a while, it's definitely probably still there. And then a lot of individuals go straight into putting on primer. So what technically just happened is you put primer on top of debris. And not to mention, I know another thing that individuals tend to not know about or don't do is clean their well, you don't even gotta clean it, you just wipe the brush off after, you know, using a primer brush. And then you're putting that primer on top of the nail plate, and it has a lot of like unseen debris that you probably don't even know it's there. Then another thing is we go straight into placing the cuticle. I mean, not the cuticle, the acrylic on there. And guess what? The acrylic, another thing that people tend to do, they don't have that proper beat ratio. So either the acrylic can be too thick, or it can be too thin. And then lastly, the one of the top beats that individuals don't really truly, and you know, there's people out here that they grasp it so well and they're master at it, and it's the ones who struggle with it, they don't understand how to do that cuticle bead. And the cuticle bead is pretty much sealing that nail on off on um the area where the lanolin and cuticle is. So once you put that there, it's supposed to look like it's growing out the nail plate. I know there's so many styles and trends, but still at least have it to make it look like it's growing out the nail plate, because you don't put so much weight down here on the cuticle bead that pressure is riding on the cuticle area. That's not how it should be. And it can cause lifting, or again, it can cause flooding. The cuticles get flooded, and of course that leads to lifting again if it's not prepped right. And that skin that's sitting on that nail plate still there, it can be lifting. It's just like a lot of things on top of another thing on top of another thing, which can easily lead to a pop off, lifting, and just not staying it off. It's too if the nail alone is too thin, it can crack or break or whatever. So, and then sealing the acrylic itself off towards the end with the drill bit or manually with the file. So, and also closing and sealing off the edges as well too. So don't really tend to see lifting or whatever on the free edge, but hey, it happens. Those are like some of the top things that can cause lifting. Of course, there's other factors, but those are like, oh, and of course, I forgot to mention, it's usually mostly people who just starting out fresh with doing nails. They don't think they need primer. Of course, you know, a lot of people know what happens when you don't use primer. The primer is like the adhesion that bonds the acrylic to the natural nail plate and helps it to stay there. If you don't have that, it's not going to stay on 9 times out of 10. And if it does, it's not going to last or whatever. So, yeah. I pretty much just listed a lot of things that could cause lifting. Especially quite a few things that people look past or just don't even think to. They just don't know, you know, and you don't know what you don't know. But so, got the little hand here. By the way, these nails are cute. That's a pretty color, y'all. She did good. I'm not mad at her. But anyways, we're gonna get. So we're gonna get a cuticle pusher. There's one there. I got one somewhere. Again, if you're here to see how to keep those nails lasting, you're in the right spot. So we're gonna start with pushing. So you're just gonna push this layer back right here. That's it. We're gonna, let me see, what can I put? I can like use like some dried up glue or something, because I really, let me see if I have any so you can see what I'm talking about. I got a little bit, not much. Usually when you do your nails often, you don't really have much there. Okay, yeah, I didn't got in the head. Okay. Let me just turn the camera around. Okay. So why every time I use this camera? Okay, so right up in, jeez. Let me clean the camera off. It's always, it's so hard to keep this one clean. My other camera doesn't do this. I think it's because of my little cover that I have. Okay, that's better. Okay, so ooh, let's get a zoomer. Maybe if I tap the screen. Okay. No, you can't see it. And it's sun there too. It's so funny. So annoying. Okay, wait. Maybe getting somewhere. I'm cold though, so my nails are like peachy red right now. That's another thing. Like when temperature changes, like people's nails can change colors. This would be so nice if it zoomed. Okay. It's right here. You can't really see it, but it's right here. I don't know if I see those little white specks, but here's some like right up in here. See, like right up in here. Whatever. That's what you're removing. Excuse me. That's what you're removing. That's what you're going to be removing. Matter of fact, let me get some, this might be a good example. I'm going to do it like this. Maybe y'all know where I'm coming from. So I'm going to, I'm going to put like some little scraggly lines of white polish on this nail. And then we're going to pretend like that's what should be getting removed, okay? Because I'm not understanding why it's not picking up or zooming in on my thing. Okay. So, let's just say this is her natural nail. This is the hand. Like, now, this is the natural nail. And you'll see that, like, right there. Usually when you push the skin back, you're met with that. Voila, okay? So, I'm going to remove it manually, okay? So, I'm going to come in, and I'm going to remove it. That's it. We're just removing that, like that. Okay? Now, in the event, what I usually do, if I want to remove it manually, this is what I do. I'll spray something. And I know a lot of people is like, well, why won't you use cuticle remover? Because cuticle remover has oils and stuff like that in it. Just extra stuff that's not needed when it's an acrylic nail process. You want to have it dehydrated, right? So I'm using an alcohol instead. It's wet now. I'm going to politely take it and I'm going to move it off. That's it. And I'm not using the rough side of the buffer either. And it's getting out just like magic. And then I'm going to take the buffer and I'm going to buff it to remove that natural shine. That's it. As you look at this nail compared to the rest of those nails. Can't really tell, but it's a definite, there's no shine anymore. And that's it. So you might, and to be honest, that's all you're doing. You want to only remove the natural shine off of the nail plate and remove that excess cuticle that was down there. That's it. That's it. We're not removing a whole layer of nail plate off of the nail. We're not doing that. That's it. Because there's a thing called over filing, okay, and it can cause lifting too, because then with the nail plate being so thin. So I'm gonna do this one more time, and then we'll probably move on. So again, I'm gonna wink wink, put the little cuticle on the nail, and when I push that cuticle back, when I push that skin back, we're met with cuticle. That's what we're met with. So guess what? I'm gonna take my alcohol And I know people's like, what? It's that simple. Now, of course, if I was using a hand file or e-file, not a hand file, e-file, it would be, you don't need the alcohol. But if you're manually doing it, you're just going to take this and remove that cuticle, that excess skin off the nail plate. Or it could go in a circular motion, depending on how. And then we're going to take it and we're going to remove the natural shine off the nail plate, going in one direction. Okay. And this nail is now prepped and ready to go. I bet some people are like, what? That's it? Like, yes. Again, if you have an E-file, just do it with the E-file. Like buff, minimal speed. And I'm telling you that bad boy's ready to go. Nails prepped. Hot shiny, we hot shiny, y'all. So, let's turn this camera back around. So, there we discussed about the beginning prep work. Now, if we're using tips, we're going to take a tip and glue it on. That's another thing. Not so much, though. But you want to make sure it's sidewall to sidewall when you put that tip on. Blend it if it needs to be blended. Not all the tips need to be blended, but there's some, the well is so high and then the nail is so unleveled with the nail bed. Yes, please blend it in. But other than that, because then you don't have to make an unnecessary leveling with the nail tip. It's not necessary. Just blend it. I know some people are like, oh, you don't need to blend it anymore, but it just depends on the nail tip. There's so many different types of nail tips. I'm gonna show y'all. This is just a random brand that I purchased, and it's a coffin tip, and it's a deep pinched tip. So when I place this on my nail, look, you can't even really see it, like the unleveled, but it's not really unleveled versus hold on, versus what I'm about to pull out. These are some really good tips. This is a square. By the way, the other tip is just straight. There's no curve in it. Just like this one, it's just an all straight tip. Now this tip is, the well is more shown to you and it's less well than this one. It's just a kind of, it has more of a like guidance strip on it to kind of let you know, but I don't think, you can't really see a difference. Ugh. So annoying. Like, I can see the difference, but clearly this needs to be, dang y'all. Clearly this needs to be leveled out, whatever. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay. Here's a stiletto, straight tip. Stiletto, long, straight tip. It's not that long, but this one is well-less. There's a difference. So supposedly when you glue this on, you don't have to blend. So there is a difference. Matter of fact, let me take out, and then this one is more for quote unquote like beginners or whatever. It has a way larger well, and it's a curved stiletto. Long. I want to show you the difference. Now, me technically, if I use this, I literally drill the well. This part off, I drill that off because it's not necessary. But you can see the difference in these tips. Clearly, this one gonna be holding it a little bit longer when you apply that tip. These are all different brands, though. I don't use the same. When I like first got my license, this was like my go-to tips. Oh, I've used them so much I don't even see them anymore in there. These right here, I like them. I like the length and the shape, but you know, these are short coffin. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, they're not the easiest to glue on. You have to literally file them and use a certain, like a really good holding glue. And I'm gonna show y'all like the difference. Ooh. So, okay, so what happened, like with this right here, this one's wellless. So when I put it on, look on his finger. It like you don't have really. There's no blending with this unless you just feel like you have to. Like I'm gonna be honest, when I use these tips on somebody, like I didn't have to blend them at all. I was like, that's a time saver. But as you can see, the two wellless tips versus the full. No, I didn't even say a full. There's more than a full well. Cause yeah, I guess. Let me see what this one is. This one is a straight. Oh, this is a coffin. But it's pinched, but it's not as pinched. I miss these. I need to find some more of these. I really love this one. I like it more than the other coffin that I have. I love this because it's not too pinched. And it goes well with my nails. I didn't rinse it. But okay, look at the well on this one. It goes perfect with my nail. And I really wouldn't have to. If you can see. So I'm going to hold these up against each other from no well to full well. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I say wells. So you go from little, like no well at all to no well at all to a half well to a full well. These are just guides and pit stops on where to place that nail tip at. That's what it's to help you do. I'm going to turn the camera around in just a second. And then I just want to show one more curved square tip. I have a lot more, y'all. But I'm not finna show all these tips, okay? This one is... Let me see. This one, you can see how much of a well is on there. It's more than the first. It's so funny how much of a well difference it is. I'm finna turn this camera around so y'all can be able to see the difference. Okay. Oh, well, I don't know where it went. Let me see. I'm gonna have to sweep so I can find it. Okay, so I got all these tips out and open so y'all could be able to see what I mean when I talk about. Okay, I'm up. Oh, I'm just dropping all these. Okay, let me zoom in. Y'all, I'm picking up these tips. So again, you got literal no well at all. Oh, what's you? Oh, there it is. There it is. Letting me zoom. Yay. You have no well at all. I know y'all see that's a great representation. Like, I'm gonna put it right down there at the smile line so we can be able to see. Like, this one doesn't have a well, but it's a slight more of a well than this one. I know that sounds really weird the way I said that, but this one has a slight well. This one has a slight well, but it has more than that one. And this one just has a full well. It's almost like a... To be honest, when I first got these, this was actually gifted to me. I would not probably ever purchase those. But it actually looks like a press-on now. Hold on. This one looks like a full-on press-on. But it's not. Okay. Yeah, I'm really like... The camera just not feeling me, y'all. Hold on, let me zoom back. There it goes. Hey, take... Too loud. Too loud. Okay, so like I said, this is what the differences of the tips. Yeah, I do plan on like coming back live with somebody because it's just time. And then of course, these are like, I love these tips. I still use tips like this. Like these are like tips that were like used like back in like the 90s and early 2000s. But as you can see, this one has a slight well, and the smile line is more. And then this one actually has a less of a well than that one. So I'm going to press this one right here. So the reason why I'm showing this is because if you pay close attention, what ends up happening is like when you pay attention to the wells on tips, if you're using tips, again, it's a guide and that quote unquote pit stop of where to place the nail on the natural nail. And it is a good way of letting you know where to glue it at. So when I place this on here, I'm not going to place it all the way down there. I'm going to place it up here. But like I give it literally just in that first set, depending on how fast and how much nail growth the natural nail does, it's going to be all the way up there already. And I'm not over exaggerating, my nails grow really fast. So with that being stated, again, this goes to show where and how you're going to be positioning the nail tip off the rib, okay? I'm telling y'all, I'm going to give y'all some good nail game. A lot of stuff that individuals just don't know. And that's cool. That's what we're here for. But yeah, I'm going to put these tips up. Like I said, all the tips don't do the same thing. They just don't. They don't do the same thing. Putting these tips back up. I feel like I've covered like a decent amount. But yes, you can never go wrong. And the cool thing about these, the curved ones, even when you cut them, you can cut that curve out. That's why I like curves too. And oh yeah, oh my gosh, I use these so much. I had so many of these. These are coffin, but it's not as pinched. There's not much of a C curve in these. So basically when they have a coffin, it'll be a little bit wider versus the pinched ones, or the one with the deep C curve. As you can see, these are pretty much gone. So I've just moved on. Because again, that's why now when I order tips, I make sure I save the... Where's my other... So these are by two guys. I'm not sponsored or anything. But I love this. Again, these are coffin. Wait, yeah, coffin, stiletto. These are still. So technically, these can be stiletto, but I like these as they're so thin, which means you don't have to. It don't take that much glue to put these on. They are wellless. It's another thing that I love about these. I love these a lot. Like usually when I put these on, I go full stiletto. I make them really skinny, and just they're full stiletto, and they stay the length that they are. I don't cut no tip with me unless I just really just feel like I need to. I have some things to do. That's it. And I used to use these a lot, like when people, and I still use them when people say they want really short nails, y'all. Oh, this is so funny. I didn't do this design, but I think my mom did this design. So my mom had these tips. My mom used to do nails. She just had gave me these tips like I don't know how long ago. I might actually do some of these tips anyways. But y'all, don't this design bring back memories? That's so cool. Believe it or not, this was like one of my mom's favorite type of designs. But this was the thing back then. So cool. And then here's another one she did. I don't care what nobody say, them designs were not as difficult to do. Like, I remember when I was in school, like, high school, they were so funny. Like, at the time, like, we were, like, it was, you know, designs were, like, really changing at the time. And this was a little bit before people really just started getting more into 3D art. And I think at that time, I was really pushing, like, 3D art. And my school's like, oh, your nails are so extravagant. And I'm like, you good, whatever. So it was so funny. It was like stuff like, you know, stuff like the, and I look at it was so funny. I had a colleague or whatever, me and her, we were kind of close or whatever. And we used to sit there. I remember I pretty much did all the designs or whatever. Cause she was like, I want to work more on designs and all this different stuff. And they used to be like, well, you can't go ahead to the next stage if you don't master all these designs. And I'm like, I've been doing these designs since I was 7 or 8 years old. Like, and my instructor was like, how did you do the designs so well and so easy? I was like, those are easy designs. Like, what? Like, have y'all seen the designs that are out now? Like, that's what people are wanting to learn. And my instructor was like, well, you get further, you can teach them. And I was just like, okay. Unbeknownst. Had no idea that I'd be like, really enjoy teaching, like, to this day. I had no idea. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at. What? These are all mixed up. Just put in there. So yeah. But yeah, anyways, y'all, if y'all have any questions, anything, nails, nail tips, designs. Oh yes. So I'm gonna put in the link. I'm gonna put the link down below. Probably should have did this already, but it is what it is. I don't think this is the right. Yeah, is it? Anywho, so if y'all are interested and want to dive deeper into nails, I am going to be hosting a boot camp, y'all. You don't want to miss it. The boot camp is gonna be for a few days. It's gonna be fun. Y'all, I've been like ultra busy. Oh my gosh, with just business. I wouldn't say busy, but things really been productive. And this boot camp I'm really excited about. It's pretty much set up. I just have a few things. There are going to be a lot of things that you'll get, a lot of things that you'll learn within this boot camp. So stay tuned. Check that, hit that link, and go sign up. And be ready to go on a journey and learn a thing or two or three or four about nails. All right. So I am now going to be tuning out. But y'all stay along again. Hello, new subscribers, newcomers. Really glad to have you guys. If you came to learn, stay tuned. Y'all, it's Q. It'sNails2U. Till next time.